Hello, everybody! Oh, yeah. It's time. It's time, guys. It's fucking time that I talk about this. See, I'm gonna be doing like a video version of omnifracturing pretty soon. So we're gonna get. So I did this because it'd be a lot faster, and I do still have the rough draft that I'm tweaking. And the plan was that I was gonna do a. I was gonna send up the written version first. We're gonna do the video version first because I've been tweaking it. I've been tweaking manufacturing off and on. So we're gonna get into something a little bit more. We're gonna get into something a little bit more. We're gonna talk about a group that's a little bit more current. It's gonna be in the main Team H universe, along with a certain other group that's an ally to ARKS. But before I get ahead of myself, let's explain. Now everybody knows the story about ARKS. The Photoners, Luther's discovery, Shiva. We all know this. But in this particular iteration of reality, after they're done fighting Shiva, they kind of set up shop near Earth for a while. Because the Pharaoh Darkness in this timeline is kind of taken care of. But with everything that's going on Earth, Earth Guy can only do so much. So ARKS decides to just stick around and kind of clean up various messes. They also work alongside Team H, also with Earth Guide. See, I would say Earth Guide and ARKS in the Team H verse universe, they're kind of like Shield, just a little less more, less Shield like. But again, ARK still has their history of what they've done, so that's still there. And you're probably wondering, well, Bugsy, does that mean Buggus Kuro's going to be a part of this? No, not really. Not really. Instead, because Bugsy Kuro's in his own universe, I don't want to put too many Bugsies in the same universe. Even though he kind of is an alternate, I could do it, but I just feel like that the Bugsy we have, you know, Bugsy Kuro. I mean, the Bugsy Kuro Team H's universe, which is HE. I don't think we need any other Bugsies because like he's the only one, and just I kind of cheated with that role because I had Travis and he's kind of an alternate. He's an alternate Bugsy that doesn't become the Bugsy Prime that we know. So that was kind of me cheating on that, but yeah, no Bugsy's Kuro. But instead, I'm going to put down someone else who I think would be a better representative, and hell, even a better guardian than the characters we have in PSO2. I want, even though they fight for like Mother and stuff, I want to actually put Hitsugi and probably someone else. But Matoy and the others will still be around. So we're still gonna see Zeno. We're still gonna see Echo. We're gonna see everybody. But they're only gonna be around like if like big. I'm talking like big threats to the universe actually happens. Like they're pretty much allies with Earth Guide, and because of that, they're just kind of there. The Phosphon don't technically exist in this timeline because the profound darkness is taken care of to the point where ARKS is pretty much just ARKS is pretty much like, hey, we're still out here, but we're not going to disband because there are other places that need our help. And Inga's like, hey, why don't you guys set up shop here? We can use the extra help and all with everything that goes on over here. At this point, Earthguard isn't really aware of like Team H because because Team H is kind of a they're not really a secret, but like Earthguard has never really came into contact with them, so they do sort of know who they are, but they really deal with their own devices. Until the incident with Thanos and HE actually happened. Now we don't have we have the government, but the government knows. The government basically knows that HE fought Thanos to save the world, and they basically cover up they pretty much cover the damages. But Inga kind of thinks that HE is cocky, which really isn't further from the truth. He just had to go all out with Thanos because there's no other way. But but literally, Inga and HE don't really like each other at first. So there's going to be a lot of that going on. And I want to do some I want to do some solo stuff with like ARKS being on Earth and Inga and probably Euclida and the others. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna call this little sub series in Team H ARKS Ops. Yeah, I know, not really the creative thing not really the most creative thing, but I think it works. And you're probably wondering, well, does that mean like Matoy doesn't have anybody that's a guardian alongside her? Well, that's not entirely true. I never said. I said a Bugsy is not going to be in there. But I never said that it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be one of my. It wouldn't be one of the. It wouldn't be a character you guys didn't know that didn't come from me. But we're not gonna. I'm not gonna unveil that yet. Until all the factoring is done, I'm not gonna unveil that. But Inga and AG do fight. That's something that does happen. It's like, oh, so you guys have cosmogenic arms. And I would tell you that AG has been an ARKS operative, but it's kind of complicated. He kind of was, and he kind of wasn't. It was kind of in the middle. It was kind of in the in between time when he was still kind of when he left as the leader of the Titans and when he was dimension hopping around. So he did actually become an ARKS operative for a bit. But it's a little different because he kind of is still an active member, but not really. And we're going to actually explain that. So yeah, him and Inga are going to fight. A whole bunch of other stuff is going to happen. Yeah. We're not gonna bring back Xion still, but I'm gonna tell you this: Xion is still gone. Zhao is still there because this happens after episode 6, timeline wise. Pretty much the Dark Falls Collective, they're gone too. Like in episode 6. Yeah, I looked ahead. They're just kind of trickling the story out, so I'm just like, I'm gonna look ahead for a minute. But basically, yeah. So Xion, the Dark Falls Collective, they're pretty much gone. So it's pretty much just ARKS, Oak, and Theodore, and the others. They're still around. And yeah, we're just gonna have little stories with them, fighting with fighting other creatures that aren't fall spawn or any of things in the game. We're gonna have them fight a different enemy, but I'm not gonna explain what it is yet. I just want to keep that to myself. But they will come across various Team H members throughout the stories. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of solos I'm gonna write. So be prepared for that. And maybe instead of Ben 10 joining the plumbers, he joins ARKS. I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for that, but I just think it'd be interesting. And you're probably and I'm not gonna tell you what class Ben 10 actually becomes in ARKS. I want that to be a surprise. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of weird stuff going on, and perhaps more more insight into ARKS' past that the game didn't really cover per se. I'm just gonna say this right now. Risa will get a whole fucking arc to herself. I ain't even get, I am not kidding. We're gonna be doing flashbacks and all kinds of stuff with her. Because the one thing that really interests me is her. A first generation cast who's kinda insane. And I say kinda because, well, you gotta play PSO2 to really understand what I'm saying. Because I know by saying all this, I'm probably saying a bunch of fucking to you all. I'm probably saying a bunch of fucking gibberish that doesn't make any sense. But for those of you that know, yeah, how I'll say it, we are. I'm gonna do it. Gonna do it. Gonna fucking do it. We are ARKS. Peace. Anyways, also, yeah, I just wanted to I wanted to elevate ARKS and PSO2 because I really still want to do stuff with. I still want to write the characters who I've grown attached to by playing the game. So doing stories with them would be kind of great. And yes, we're still gonna have Xeno. We're still gonna have Xeno and Echo together because we are. I'm really curious how that would go. And maybe stuff with Regulus and Maria, if anybody wants to see that. But the ARC stuff is not gonna happen until way later. But they are around. I want that. I want that to be in your heads. And the one thing you can take away from this video, even though I'm not writing about them yet, they are still around. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. Oh yeah. Sarah and Claire's grades are still where they are at the end of 6. So there that is. Peace.